Lawmakers grilled the head of Instagram. That's another big story we're talking about what measures the social media platform is taking to protect young users. Instagram is owned by Facebook, which has also faced scrutiny for its safety policies. We want to talk to Joe Khalil about this story. Obviously, a lot of people have been talking about social media's impacts on youth. And in Washington, they're talking about what solutions, Joe, right? About what we can actually do together, what lawmakers are going to do together to actually bring about some real positivity and real change.
Yeah, and they really wanted to hold the CEO's feet to the fire here. You know, the Senate committee that heard that testimony from Instagram CEO Adam Mosseri, they have heard these issues before. They've raised the same concerns before about mental health issues, particularly among younger users, and they just don't feel like the CEOs, the executives at places like Instagram, its parent company Facebook, or now called Meta, are taking those concerns seriously. But yesterday, senators were equipped with data showing that there have been documented cases of teenagers experiencing things like body image issues, in some cases even suicidal thoughts. And then there's an addiction issue when it comes to these platforms as well, and all of which they argue are made worse by these platforms' algorithms that take users from one image, one post to another. Now, yesterday, the CEO, Adam Mosseri, did defend the platform. He says they're rolling out a number of initiatives that they hope combat some of these problems, one being a feature that would prompt teenage users to take a break from Instagram. Another, he says, down the pipeline, there are going to be some parental controls. But there was some serious concern, again, among senators on both sides of the aisle. Here's one exchange that we heard yesterday.
The parent knows best what's best for their teen, so the appropriate amount of time should be a decision by a parent about the specific teen.
Telling teens to take a break might seem helpful on the face of things. It's probably not going to get most teenagers to stop doing what they're doing.
Adrienne, one other aspect of this we heard about yesterday was Instagram Kids. This is a feature that the platform wanted to roll out, trying to get preteens to get onto the platform. And once news broke about these mental health issues a few months ago, there was a lot of pushback to it. Yesterday, Mosseri was asked about this, and he did not commit to fully stopping the rollout of this program, only saying that if it does happen, they'll do it responsibly. But that was clearly to the skepticism of a lot of the senators in that room yesterday.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.